want to talk about today's guest just a little bit. His name is Darryl Hughes. He has spent over 30 years in game development and creative director, producer, and art/animation at some of the top global gaming and animation companies. Let me tell y'all something. I tell kids this all the time. You play these video games, you spend a lot of money for these video games. Get in on the back end. Develop something of your own, and or get in and figure out how they're coded. That kind of thing. Learn as much about these things as you possibly can, because that's where the money is. That's where the money is if you're in these games. Because if you're paying 50, 60, I don't know how much games cost because I haven't bought one in forever. But if you're buying these games, get in on the back end. Figure out how they work. Figure out how you can develop your own. Because, I don't know much about them, but we're getting ready to ask Mr. Hughes, and I'm probably going to drive him crazy. So, Darryl, please take this time to introduce yourself to our guest and tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Payton. It's a pleasure to be here, and good to see you again. My name is Darryl Hughes, CEO and co-founder of Hughes Technology Studio with my wife, Edie Deloach Hughes. Our program prepares underserved and at-risk youth for job readiness by building essential tech, business, and creative skills to increase diversity in the gaming and interactive industries. And as Dr. Payton says, our motto is don't just play the game, get in the game. Mm-hmm. So one of the reasons we started this was because that the interactive industries lack diversity. African American communities are lacking technology and are underserved. 73% of African Americans are gamers or consumers, but we only have 3% of the jobs in the industry.
Really?
So, yes. So Newsweek did an article, and they found out that these small numbers attributes to financial barriers, insufficient training, and lack of opportunity. So we're addressing all of that through our program. Mm-hmm. So our story begins about over 15 years ago. Edie and I started doing animation workshops with kids in middle school. And Edie started creating a mentor and tutoring program in a suburban school, helping young African Americans, kids, help better with their grades and stuff like that. And I've been, like I said, you had mentioned, I've been working in this industry for over 30 years, and the lack of seeing people like us in the game companies that I work with, and in the schoolroom, because I've been teaching for over 30 years in post-secondary education, and seeing the lack of our kids in these classrooms. So we decided that we need to put a program together to get these kids this technology. I used to go to a lot of the schools, inner city schools in Chicago, where they were lacking technology. And I said, wait, where's all the technology here? I see computers here, but they were 10 years old. They didn't have updated software. And when you go to the suburban schools, they've got all this technology in their school system. Mm-hmm. And even the school that our sons went to in Oak Park, they even had a television station in their school. So we figured that somebody's going to have to do something and to get these kids the information they need and the training they need. So that's why we started Hughes Technology Studio.
And, you mentioned something, and I want to kind of caveat off of that. Now, I've been in education for quite some time now. And one of the middle schools that I taught at, we had a television station and a computer lab. I'm wondering if you can have these things at schools, but if you don't have people with the backgrounds to teach them or have the knowledge to use what's out there and try to keep things up to date, do you think that is a problem or part of the situation also?
Most definitely, because I asked several of those teachers when I was at those schools in the inner city, and I says, why are the computers covered up? Yeah. They says, well, we don't have anyone who know how to use those and teach kids how to use them. And I said, so why you get computers in a room that you then just isn't it easy just to hire somebody to teach, bring somebody in to teach the kids how to use the computer? So that's definitely a issue that's related to the problem that we have in inner city schools. Yes, it is.
And, and I see that all the time. And what I'm finding scary now is with the situation that we have going on right now, every child is online, and teachers are just grabbing at things to keep kids entertained, occupied, and busy. Now, are they actually learning from some of that stuff? But that's one of my soapboxes, and I'm not getting on that because we're talking about you today.
But see that leads right into what we do. So now we give them the opportunity to do something. So we have several things that we do through our program. First of all, we have our 9 to 12 minute apprenticeship program, which targets 16 to 23-year-olds. This encompasses a real world studio environment type situation. So students will be working and training with professionals on real world products. With our company, we have our own game company called Hughes Technologies, which is a social enterprise company. So whatever games and stuff, products that we get in or projects we get in, we want to use those as training tools for our students in our non-for-profit. So they will get experience in business, entrepreneurship, gamification. We also get into digital marketing and game development. So we teach a lot of these programs only teach coding. We don't just teach coding because everybody doesn't want to be a programmer. So we teach game design, we teach producing and QA, programming, and game art. So we try to do a 360, and also we teach people skills. We teach the kids presentation skill, so they have to get out in front of each other, present their game ideas. They work in teams, so that we giving them a full 360 of not only having technical skills, because just having technical skills to get a job is one thing, but being able to work with other people and be able to keep that job working with other people and know how to deal with other people on the job. So we give them all those type of skills.
And that's important because you want to not only build something, but you want to be out there and you want to be able to describe it, explain it, and all of that to the people that you are either working for or working with, as opposed to having somebody else do it for you.
That's correct, because even just going for a job, you have to learn how to sell yourself. This also helps them when they go on to get a job, during a job interview. So this gets them out of that comfort zone that they're so used to. So I remember when I was in high school, we had to do presentations. So I don't know if they're still doing that with these kids or not, but we teach that and help them work together and how to present together as well.
And that's a skill that we have to really imprint and implant in these kids' minds, and not just presenting, but presenting properly.
That's correct.
To get your ideas across, because some of them, they'll just get up there and just flounder, or just go off on a tangent or whatever, or just barely answer a question. They got to know how to present, and that's a major thing.
Yeah, and so my mom always taught me, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, so you have to talk up for yourself. So we try to help kids get out of that type of afraid to talk or present themselves. So the second part we have of our program is we do workshops. So we usually work with, I would say, 5th and 6th graders and up to high school and adults. And this includes, we do stop motion 2D and 3D clay animation. We do game design and programming. Also, we have days where we're trying to do birthday parties. So we want to get to the point where you can do birthday party where kids can come in and they can do something fun and creative, do an animation, or create a character, learn how to do a character design.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I like that. I mean, you're going beyond what the normal is, and I like the fact that it's not coding. It's not just coding, because I know you probably do a little bit of coding in there too. But it's giving them ownership. Now, you talked a little bit about some of the age levels that you serve. You talked about your your internship and mentorship program. You talked a little bit about your younger courses. So, what is the total age range that y'all typically work with?
Our total for our apprenticeship program, we work with 16 to 24-year-olds. That's our goal, is to get these young people to get in the gaming company or interactive company, at least in a low-level position to get started in the gaming or interactive industries. Now, our workshops, we have work with students, like I say, from all ages, from elementary school, 5th and 6th graders, all the way up to some young adults. So, and in fact, our workshops can be with anybody. You know, we did a workshop one day. We were with our senator here in DuPage, and we had a lady who was about 80 years old, and she started doing stop motion animation, and she just loved it. So the workshops can be for any age group. Like I said, but our apprenticeship program, we are targeting the 16 and 24-year-olds to help them get a foot into the gaming and interactive industries.
Now, when you're working with those 16 to 24-year-olds, what are some of the things that you are seeing that they are needing as far as getting the understanding that they need to get their foot in the door?
Well, one of the biggest things that they have, these kids are very smart, and you know, we have very talented young people. We have very smart young people. Our biggest problem is technology, the lack of technology they have. We have right now, we're doing a 9-month capstone in partnership with Family Services on the south side of Chicago. We're teaching these kids right now game design, programming in Scratch, and teaching them also programming and professional software like Unity and Python. And our biggest problem is that our students don't have the computers. I have my students who actually are still in school, because we do like an after-school program with them. They're on their phones because they don't have computers at home. And one thing we did find out during our research is that in low-income areas, they don't have enough cell towers where they have internet towers, so they don't have very good internet connections. A lot of my students constantly during class are losing connection. They say, I keep getting kicked out, I can't get through. Sometimes it takes them 3 or 4 times before they can get into the class, the Zoom class. So what we want to do, and one of the things that we're working with right now, we're part of the USC cohort, and we're working with them. They trying to help us get investment money. So what we want to do, we want to create a technology bus. So on this bus, we would have all the computers, the software, everything they need. We also would have hotspots on the bus, so we wouldn't have any problems with internet service. So we just drive right up into a school or a community center. The kids get on, and we can teach them what they need to do, and there's no issue there.
Okay. I mean, and that makes sense, because I have seen technology buses where people come in and they have like robots, and they have gaming systems in the buses for kids to play, but nothing for them to do any design or anything. So that is an amazing idea, and something that is going to totally be needed and really push y'all over the edge and beyond I couldn't say what everybody else is doing, because you're the only people I've seen doing what you're doing. So that's why I'm so excited. Now, with the younger boys and girls, what are you doing with those age groups?
The younger ones, they do game design. We have them work in a real simple program like Scratch. So we teach them they actually have to do storyboards. They have to do writing, write up a script, come up with game ideas. So we do basically what we do with the older students, but on a lower level or simpler level. So we try to introduce them to creativity. That's what we're doing with the young people. Start being creative, think outside the box, taking it to the next level of thinking, learning how to work with each other, being in teams, discussing how to brainstorming. So we get them to do those type of things. And again, like I said, they actually doing some coding, but they use a much simpler program. They don't use the professional stuff that we use with the older kids, like Unity and Python. and they use programs like Scratch or Code.org. But they do still have to come up creative ideas for games, so we work with them on that. They do storyboards, they do write scripts, and so those are the things that we do with these younger kids, and they love it. I mean, we've had some young kids come up with some game ideas. These are 5th and 6th grade. I said, man, I need to take this idea and make it into a real game, because there's some good ideas that these kids had. So, yeah.
And you know, it's amazing what they come up with. I know one of the things I had problems with in Hawaii was getting my kids to actually storyboard. They wanted to write the program first, or write the web page, or write the game first, and then go back and do the storyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a minute to get them to do it the other way around. Did you run into that with some of your kids initially?
No, because some of them don't never done it before, and so we explained to them the whole process. Even though, you know, if you're doing a TV commercial, you're doing a movie, if you're doing a video, this is the process that we go through. We even have them do flow charts. Okay. You know, so they actually have to write the script, do a flow chart. So with my group right now, I'm showing them how to do UI, design UI. So they have to do a flow chart. How, if you push this button, what happens when you push this button? So they're actually doing flow charts. They also do that for the animation and for the game designs. So they write the game design. They do a flow chart, because we teach them that the flow chart is what the programmer would need to know how the game plays. So we also have them do mood boards. So they create the art, what this game would look like, and that's what the artist would need. So those are things that we dig deeper into teaching the kids, instead of just saying, hey, be a programmer, do program this, that. But we give them, like I say, all phases of how to dig into a little further than what a lot of programs will do, and let them see the process behind, like you say, behind building a game. This is all the different process that you have to go through before you even start building a game. And then once you start building a game, these are the things that you have to do.
Yeah, I have a message here. Danita Bailey says the technology bus is a great idea. So thank you, Danita. Hey,
Danita, how you doing, girl?
You know, we both know her. So, but now, I mean, we're talking about this right now. You are working with these young men and women online. Is that correct?
Yes, we do virtual and we do in person. So over the last year and a half, we've been doing all virtual training. So we've done virtual training with DuPage NAACP in partnership with Northwestern University and North Central College. We did a week-long game design with middle schoolers. We did a 2-week program with Illinois Math and Science Academy, which is the #2 high school in the nation. And we did 1 week with their middle school students, and then the second week we did it with the high school students. We did a game development program with them. And we're currently doing like I said, a 9-month capstone with Phalanx Family Services on the South Side with my 16 to 24-year-olds. The week of July 12th, we are going to be doing another week-long animation workshop with the DuPage NAACP and North Central College and Northwestern University. And this July, we will be doing a 6-week animation workshop for high school students in partnership with Phalanx Family Services, called One Summer Chicago in the city of Chicago. But we are looking to do several of our own workshops coming this summer as well. One will be, again, a Unity game design workshop, and the other will be a Python programming workshop. So, you know, Python is being used mostly for data and scientific data and stuff, but you still can build a text-based game. So my students in my capstone right now, we did a 3 weeks Python class where they program text-based games. So they had a good time with that, and then the weeks before that, they built games in Unity. So we taught them how to do some basics in Unity, how to get into creating levels in Unity.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, this is Dr. Mary Payton with All About STEM Radio, and I am interviewing Mr. Darryl Hughes. He is the co-founder of Hughes Technology Studios. And y'all are out of Chicago, am I correct, Darryl?
Yes, we are.
They're out of Chicago, but you can find them everywhere. Because we had this discussion the other day. I said, wait a minute, can people find y'all everywhere? So we are talking about gaming, digital gaming, working with young people on game design, and also entrepreneurship of their work. Now, Darryl, you mentioned earlier that some of the games that some of your students have designed, you were like, well, some of this could probably go to market. You like that. Give me an example of something some of your young men and women have designed.
Some of them have designed, like I said, we are designing real simple games due to the time limit that we do have. Mm-hmm. So they designed like 1 or 2 levels of a game. One girl had a side-scroller game where she had this character bouncing and she had to avoid different things, different enemies on a level. That was done in Unity. Then we just finished doing, like I say, the Python text-based games where there were several students who created a monster game where you had to click on, it asks you a question, do you want to go through this door? And if you go through the door, do you see a monster there? What are you going to do? Are you going to run? Or are you going to fight? So you fight the character, and then it tells you how much percentage you lost in that fight, or how much you did damage to that creature. So we're going to start posting some of our kids' games up on our website, which is at HughesWhoTechnologyStudio.com, and I'll give that again. That is at HughesWhoTechStudio.org. And our email is at contact@HughesWhoTechStudio.org, or you can contact me directly at HughesWho.Hughes@gmail.com. So we will be putting some of our kids' games up on the website, and so those are the things that we're doing. So some cool things that right now, Dr. Payton, that's happening for us is that we just had a call with EA Electronic Arts. So they are about interested in us doing internships with our students. So we're putting a list of some students right now that we're going to submit their names that they can do internships with EA, which is a great thing. We had a meeting with Dream Corps, founded by Van Jones of CNN Host, and he worked with the Obama administration. So they are interested in our program and teaching middle school students about game development and interactive industries. So they have locations in Oakland and Atlanta. So we looking to have us as a Chicago location to teach these kids. Now, one of the things that we want to eventually get to do is we want our students to build health and wellness games. Mm-hmm. So we want to not only have them develop these games, but some games that are beneficial to people. So we've got a call this week with one of the research professors at Northwestern University. She's doing research in adolescent digital mental health and working with communities to design digital tools. So we're looking to partner with her to see how we can work with her to help her design these games to help these young people who have adolescents who have mental issues. We also have a call with the VP at Certain Affinity Games. Yep. They're known for Halo and Call of Duty franchises, so we're looking to try to do a partnership with them as well to get internships and career development with our students as well.
Wow, you are extremely busy. And that's
yes, ma'am. We are busy. We've been doing pitches to get funding, but we also been reaching out to game companies because we had posted that we were in talks with EA, and somebody says, "Oh, you made it to the top of the hill." I said, "No, we have not made it to the top of the hill until we get some students who got jobs in these industries. Then we made it to the top of the hill." So our ultimate goal is not only to teach these kids, but to give them. They come back and say, "Hey, we got a job working for a game company, or we're working with a technology company." So that's when we make it to the top of the hill.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I was going to ask you later. We got a question here. Let me look on here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not too good at multitasking anymore since I'm supposed to be retired. That ain't working real well. It says, any virtual workshops for the little kids this summer? My 10-year-old would love it. and you know that's from Danita. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're looking to do a workshop. Like I said, we would do a game design workshop, and if we're going to put it out there, see what students who are interested. We might have to split it up into two groups. Now, the things that we found is that we have, we had in our Unity workshop, we had some 10 and 11-year-olds kids who were in it, but it got a little bit tough for them. But their parents jumped in. And in fact, the parents started to enjoy working with the kids. So that was one good thing is that we found is that, sometimes the parents can help the kids. But if it's an age group of 10, then we would try to work with Scratch and code.org with kids at that age group. So, but if they're older kids, then we know that they have the capacity to understand working in Unity and Python.
Yep. Now, you mentioned that now you're all virtual. You're doing a little bit of both virtual and live. Are you finding that there is a major difference in both platforms working with the kids?
Yes, I mean, definitely in person is better because you're right there with the students. You seeing what they're doing. You can be more hands-on with the students and what they're doing. You can demonstrate easier to them what they're doing, but we still have been successful doing virtual. Like I said, students have completed games, and again, the biggest problem we have had with doing the virtual is not the training course itself, is that the students we work with are kids who don't have the funding or the monies that their parents have to have these kids have the computers that they need, because we run high-end software.
Yeah.
So they don't have the internet service. I mean, the Chicago public school system has the same problem.
Yeah.
They have to give. I think now they're starting to give out internet service to kids who can't afford it, so the kids can get on there and just do regular schooling. So those are our biggest hurdles at this time. So one of the things that reasons why we're trying to go get funding is that if we can set up a place in the community where kids can walk in and then they can have the training right there, and that's why I was talking about the bus. But also if we can have a brick and mortar place right there in the community. Kids can leave from after school, walk right in, we can sit them down and we can start working with them. They don't have to worry about the computers, they don't have to worry about the software that they would need, because a lot of the software that we do use, we try to give them software that is free. So we find free software that they can download. It doesn't cost them. It's not the professional stuff, but it's close good enough for them to complete the projects they're working on.
Okay. I mean, and that's important, and knowing where to get that software is important, because a lot of them probably wouldn't venture off into this if that wasn't available to them, even if the free software may not be 100% up to par. It may be 92%, but that gives them a feel that they're able to do something in the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's the software is still good enough to create the projects. They're able to do the projects with this software. I mean, it takes them. You have to do more steps compared to a high-end software, but the end results can still be the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, you've talked about some of your collaborations and things like that. What is one of the collaborations, like you talked about doing something in mental health with one of the university professors, but what collaborations have you done that you found to be just totally, totally beneficial to you, your organization, and your kids?
We've been working with Flanix Family Services on the south side of Chicago. Yeah. So we've been working with them for 2 years now. Last year we did a game design development 9-month workshop with the students there. This year, like I said, we're doing a capstone, and then this summer we're doing a 6-week animation workshop with them. So they are funded through DFSS, Department of Family and Support Services. Mm-hmm. So that has been very helpful for us. Working with the university is good because and NAACP, because they get the funding that can pay us for our time working with the students. So those have been the major universities and corporations that we've been working with that has been very helpful to us. Mm. And because they have the especially with Phalanx Family Services, they right there in the community, and they have the students right there. So that helps us a lot, being able to get the students that we need for our program.
Mm. And you know, that was one of the things that I was wondering is, where do you get your students and how do you get your students? And I know you're in Chicago, but per our conversation that we had over the weekend, y'all are available to work with students not just in Chicago, especially on your virtual platform. So kind of tell my audience how to get involved, how to get their kids involved with you if they want to connect with you on your virtual platform.
Okay, well, again, they can reach us. Go to our website. It's www.hugheswhotechstudio.org, and at the bottom you can, as our email, contact email is called contact@hugheswhotechstudio.org, or they can email me directly at hugheswho.hughes@gmail.com. Okay. So either those ways they can contact us. And we will reach back out to them. Let us know what you're interested in, what age group of kids you have, and we can let you know what programs we have and what we can set up for you, and set up a cost and stuff like that.
Okay, because I mean, you're probably all over, you know, get kids in from all over, and I want people in my audience to know that you're not just in one spot. You're everywhere. And
when we did our Unity workshop, we had young people from, actually we did have some young people from Texas, we had some young people from Southern Illinois. So when you're doing virtual, it doesn't matter. I mean, you just come on a Zoom and we start teaching. So so we just come on in and we start teaching, and you could be from anywhere. It doesn't matter, you know.
And that, you know, hopefully somebody internationally will join you based on this show, because we do have listeners that are outside of the United States. But, you know, as we spoke earlier, you know, we pay a lot for these games that we buy for our kids, and our kids pay a lot for these games. Now, if they can get on the back end and become a developer, a designer, that's going to be a great skill set for them. Now, you said you did it 30. You've been doing this over 30 years.
That's correct.
When you walk into a room, how many people like you did you normally see back when you first started?
When I started, I was the only one. I started early 90s, and literally, when I walked in, I was the only one. When I worked for another company, I was the only executive in the company when we had our board meetings. I was the only face in the place. When we had the whole corporate meetings, again, I was only African American there, and maybe it might have been one or two other Hispanic people, but the rest were white. It's still that I have a friend of mine. She's been in the business. She's white, and she's been in the business for 15 years. And we were just talking on LinkedIn, and she says, "Darryl, you know what? I've been working this business for 15, and literally I've only seen 2 black women in this industry who are at game companies that I've worked with." So there is a lack. You know, these major corporations or technology companies are saying, "Yeah, there's a problem with a lack of diversity, but there's not being done." So what we're trying to do is take out the mix, is that them saying that these kids the students don't have the training. So we're giving them the training. The same training that I'm teaching them is the one I teach in college. In fact, our program will be we just finished designing a game curriculum for Kennedy King College, which will be implemented this fall.
Wow.
So the things that I've been teaching my college students, I'm teaching these kids. So we've given them the necessary skill sets that they need to get the job. The thing is now is that while we're trying to work with all these game companies to do these partnerships, is to give them the opportunities. And I'm being honest with you. My son is very talented. I got my youngest son. He works for a game company, and he's very talented. And so I called in a couple people and say, hey, I got my son. He's interested in the game industry, and they looked at his work. His work got him the job, but I got him the opportunity for these people to look at his work. You understand? So we need more of us having the opportunities to give the kids, and that's why we're trying to build these relationships with these game companies. We hope more game companies contact us so that they can see that we do have the talent, and if they're really interested in following through on and being more diverse in their companies, we can help them get the talent that they need to do that.
Yep. And and they probably need all kind of things and all kind of media. The audio portion, the gaming portion, because gaming is just not just making little characters and put them out there as a game. You've probably got music that has to be written, sounds that have to be written. Is all of that part of what's going on and the things that you're teaching our young people to do? Yes.
In fact, our kids who right now, so after they finish building the Python games, the text-based game, so now they converting that text-based game into a visual game. So right now they had to, like I said, they had to do the flow charts, they had to do the mood boards, and now they are creating their sound. So I gave them a couple sites where they can write their own music. So now they're learning how to create their own music for their games. And the other thing that we do is we bring in people of color from the industry. So I have a good friend, Don Dixon. He has done animation for feature films. I brought my son Kai in. He has come in. He works in the game industry. He talked about art. We've got a good friend, Darryl Duncan, who has done music for my games. He's a brother. He has his own music studio. He come in and talk to the kids about sound design. So we try to introduce them, like I said, to all the phases of game development and show them that there are people of color doing these jobs. And because one of the things that I got all the time is when I walked into the school, they knew that somebody was going to talk about game development. And when they walked in, they introduced me that Mr. Hughes is here to talk about game development. The kid's mouth just dropped open. One kid said, I didn't know black people did games. Oh. So we try to introduce them to let them see that we are out there, that people of color are doing these jobs, and that these opportunities are for them, and that they can do this.
And the thing is, you've been doing these jobs for years. This is not something new.
No, it's nothing new. In fact, I have over 10 game patents. I took a 4-student team when I was teaching at Tribeca Flashpoint Academy. We won national championship. Every year, Microsoft have a Magic Cup competition, a game competition. My 4 students won.
Wait. I'm fit to back this up just a little bit because we've got about 8 minutes to go. You have 10 game patents.
Yes.
Patents,
yes.
Okay, y'all heard that.
Yes.
So
and yeah. And when like I said, my 4-student team, we won the national championship at Microsoft, and we made it to semifinals in the world competition in New York. But the thing that was shocking to me, and I came back and I talked to Edie, and out of 3,000 students that was at Microsoft at their campus in this competition, literally there was less than 25 black students there. And I just looked around. I said, "Wow, this got to change. This has got to be something different." And I do want to give a shout out to my wife Edie, because when we started this we've been doing it for over 15 years for free. So we decided to start Hughes Who Technology Studio about 2 years ago. I left my job to do this. It was a well-paying job. And so Eddie has been taking up the slack, keeping the family afloat, the jobs and stuff, and being the partner in the background to do this. So this is our project. This has been our love. This is what God put on our heart to do. And we working with USC, and these guys are saying, my God, how come you guys haven't made it by now? And then one of our partners with USC is that, they're African American. They don't get the opportunities or the money to do this kind of stuff. So we out here pushing. We still pushing because we've got a plan to make sure that, like I said, we're successful when we start having students getting jobs in these game and interactive companies. That's our goal.
Yes. And I totally enjoy the way you put that. You're successful when you start having young men and women get employed in the gaming industry.
That's correct.
Which is one of the things that totally has to happen, because it's not going to change. Gaming is such a major part of our life. And I'm going to say this because I'm a woman of a certain age. I'm a member of AARP. Yes, I'm retired, y'all. I keep saying that. But, on the site, they have, like, memory games. They have entertainment games on the site to help.
Yeah, games are not entertainment anymore. Games have migrated to education. We were just invited by Niantic Gaming to be part of the Black Developers Initiative, and they're the ones who created the Pokemon Go augmented reality game. And so we just finished designing a game, sent it to them. If they like the game, they will pay us for 5 months to develop the demo. If they like the demo, they will pay us for 2 years to develop this game. The other thing is that gaming has being used for teaching. Mm-hmm. Gaming is being used for doctors are using augmented and virtual reality to do surgeries before they do it. In fact, about a year and a half ago, the FDA has just approved a video game to help kids with ADHD. Mm-hmm. So this industry is wide open. Games make more money than the film and music industries combined. That's how much money. World of Warcraft makes up over $1 billion a year. That's one game. So there's money out there. There's opportunities, like you said. They need sound designers. They need marketing people. They need writers. So there's a lot of opportunities for our kids in this industry. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to hit all of those points with them. And again, our goal is to get our kids in there, even for the fact that a lot of these studios, as we've been talking with EA about, there's a lack of diversity in the games themselves. There's no black culture in these games. There's no minority cultures in this game. And they need help because the people who design the games don't know about our cultures.
Right.
So we've been talking to them about that, being consultants with them to help them understand how to add black culture or any other of these cultures in their games.
And that is so true. We have 3 minutes left.
Yes.
I want you to take this time. You've already thanked your wonderful wife. Tell her I said hello.
I definitely will.
But is there anyone else out there you want to thank? And is there anything that you are looking for that will help you within your organization?
If we're looking for any way possible, anybody can help us with computers for our kids. If anybody knows of a space where we can set up these computers, and like I said, we try right now. Our goal is to go after funding. We've been working with several organizations. We're part of Chicago Tech right now. They're helping us get in front of investors. In August, like I said, with USC, this August we go to San Diego. We're going to present our presentation in front of 500 investors. The other thing we need is if anybody wants to help volunteer with us, we'll work on our workshop who have a gaming experience. and know technology and programming and stuff like that, we would love to have you as volunteers. You can go to our website and volunteer. Again, that's at www.hugheswhotechstudio.org, and you can go to the bottom of our website and you can click to be a volunteer, or you can email me at hugheswho.hughes@gmail.com. I just want to thank our parents, and I like to thank God for what He putting us on a path to do and what we're trying to do. I want to thank people like you for giving us the opportunity to talk about what we're trying to do. Without your help, we want to thank USC for letting us be part of their cohort, and our friend Godfrey Coker, who's one of our partners with USC, who helped us get into that cohort. So that's what we want to thank. Anybody who's out there trying to promote what we're doing and other organizations what we're doing, we want to say thank you. And if anybody wants to give donations, you can go right to our website. You can donate. We have people who have donated. Several of our board members have donated. We've had other people give us donations. Those donations help us to have workshops where we've had workshops where kids couldn't afford it, and those donations covered our costs, and the people we have teach the kids cost their salary to come and help do that. So those are the things that we need, and that's where we at. And we still moving forward. People say, you guys have done this for a long time. Are you not tired? Nope, we're not tired yet. And like I said, when we get to the point where we got students getting jobs, then we might sit back a little bit there.
Okay. Well, hey.
We're trying to create a SaaS program, a service where kids where organizations can download our program, like school districts and parents and organizations. So it'll be an online service so that we don't have to teach the class. So that's another thing we're looking to for funding to develop that program so that we can get our program to kids overseas and international, kids in Africa, kids here in the United States, anywhere. So that's the other thing that our next goal that we're trying to do besides the technology bus.
Okay. Well, Darryl, I want to thank you for coming on to the show. Don't let this be your last time. I will post your website on the All About STEM Radio Show Facebook page. So if y'all didn't remember it, it will be there. And please go and look at what Mr. and Mrs. Hughes are doing, because they are amazing.